Hey everybody, welcome to the Pride 4 podcast. My name is Bryce.
Chris.
Ross.
Alex.
And Kanye got booted from his own state from election fraud in Chicago.
How did he get caught so fast?
Because he's not smart and the people doing it for him aren't smart.
Like Mickey Mouse and shit. They're gonna, like.
Yeah, he had to get. They figured out a lot of the signatures were like false or something.
Like David Davidson or some shit. Like.
Actually, Kanye took one for the team to prove that mail-in ballots are very secure. Because that's what they were. So they thought they could just send in a bunch of fraudulent shit, but they're barcoded, signature checked, and everything, and all that junk. Yeah, bye, Chris. His app still is not working. We're just gonna keep going. So that's it with Kanye. That's it with hip hop. I didn't really look. I never look anymore.
Hip hop's been pretty down. I think COVID's been killing it.
Yeah, we need another surprise release or something to bring it back. There's something with Jay-Z that Chris probably wants to talk about, but I don't remember what it was.
Didn't Hove pay off a bunch of DMX's debt or something like that?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything about that. Wouldn't be his debt. He didn't pay off his actual debt that he
Am I back in?
had. Yeah, you're back in.
Fucking
we don't know
dumb.
for how long.
Right? 20 seconds, 20 minutes, who knows?
Yep.
That's fucking dumb.
The Weeknd donates $300,000 to Beirut explosion relief, bringing his total charitable relief efforts to $2.15 million in just 2 months. Huh?
Wow, dude.
Abel's doing his thing, bro.
I guess.
That is, yeah, I guess we'll see where that goes. What did Jay-Z do, Chris?
Jay-Z bought DMX out of debt, which means he probably is going to try to be making a deal with him pretty quick here.
Okay, that's none of what you said is true.
I thought he was going to run for president.
No. What do you... Whoa. What part about what I said is not true?
Okay, so I brought up the article from The Source, which we know is not credible because it was ran by that very not credible person.
Benzino.
What was his name again? Yeah, Benzino. So DMX and Jay-Z had beef. DMX was clearly better. We know that. So Rough Riders were in debt to Def Jam. And then when Jay-Z took over during their beef or whatever, DMX wanted to leave for Sony, and Hove released him and wiped off the debt clean. So this was very, very long time ago.
So he already owns DMX.
Huh?
It's his rights.
I don't know. Well, they don't go with the Jay-Z. It would be Def Jam owns the rights.
That's terrible.
He was just the president of Def Jam.
El Presidente.
I can look it up. Who owns
probably.
DMX music? Music rights, I should say. Because it's a right that you don't have.
Man, music has rights too, man.
Right?
What? DMX? No, I want... There's apparently a DMX music service, and that's very confusing in these. Yep. So I can't figure it out quick enough. But yeah, so that was happened a long time ago, and yeah. Fuck Jay-Z.
So why is it being brought up now? Is my question.
Maybe nobody knew it really happened until now. I don't know.
Like maybe the versus battle or some shit.
Like, I think it was on Power 105. I'm seeing that they just talked about it randomly, I guess, and that's why it's coming out.
Oh.
So, yeah, I just want to see more DMX. So that's it for hip hop. Let's just not even talk about when we're done with topics. Let's just move on. You know what I'm saying?
A conversation.
Let's have a conversation solely about Ghost of Tsushima, though.
Okay.
Which is a video game. How far are you, Alex?
Not very.
Oh boy. Okay, I just got to like the second area. So maybe Act 2.
It's possible.
I don't know how long that game is, but I've been playing it a lot. Ghost of Tsushima, Chris, if you don't know what that is, you're a samurai that fights a bunch of Mongolians that invade, and then you get injured, and then you're the last samurai that fought Mongolians that invade, and then you got to rescue your uncle, and you got to kill a bunch of Mongolians by yourself, and that's the game.
So is this? I can't even say what is this game akin to because it's been so long.
It is a really, really good game. It's kind of like Witcher mixed with what's another Japanese game? I don't know. I haven't played Sekiro, but probably Sekiro maybe.
It's kind of like a...
I wouldn't say Dark Souls, really.
Yeah, it's more like a lighter Dark Souls game. Not super hard, but like...
Mixed with Witcher. Like, the combat is clearly like Witcher. It has a very...
Edition.
What?
Huh?
I didn't hear you. You cut out.
These games like the Dynasty Warriors, their version with Nobunaga.
Hell yeah. And Cao Cao. But yeah, I would say it's more like Witcher because the combat is in depth like Witcher, and like it's more in depth than Witcher 3, I would say. But there's not like actual magic. You kind of have like tools, like bombs and shurikens and stuff are kind of like your abilities, I would say. Like Witcher has his Quinn and all those little magic abilities that he has, and then he has those tools, and he's got bow, and then you could do stealth, or you can do like straight up in there, like you can challenge everybody to a fight pretty much and just run around and try to slaughter everybody. It's a fantastic game and it looks beautiful. The story's okay. It's just like a extremely long fucking revenge story like Last of Us 2 and not Witcher. I mean Witcher 3, that story is pretty on point. But it is Witcher in the sense that there's just billions of side quests that really have little to no impact on anything, and they're just like the same fucking thing over and over again. Like, go on the road, like you're just traveling on your sweet fucking shadow horse or whatever horse you have, and you're just riding through some tall grass, like swiping your hand through it, looking all cool, and then you see a fucking bunch of Mongolians trying to start shit. So you stand off and you're like, send your strongest fighter after me. I'm going to cut him in half. And they send him, he's a bitch. And then there's like some person that's tied up, like some Japanese person that's tied up, and you rescue them. And they're like, oh yeah, dude, there's a well over here. Bunch of shit by that well. And you're like, cool, I'll go check it out. And then it appears on your map, and then you go, and then it's like it can turn into like a little itty bitty story that gets you like some sort of ability point or slight progress towards an upgrade. It's a fantastic game for sure, but it's fucking long. Like I just got to Act 2 like yesterday or something. I have to be like, am I 20 hours in? Probably. Probably. I'm 20 hours in, and it's crazy. I'm getting to the, because I was doing pretty much upgrade stuff like all the time. Like if I saw a bird that leads you, like there's golden songbirds that lead you to shit, I would always follow one, or I'd follow the fox to the fox den to try to get a charm upgrade or whatever the shit they got by Chris. And so now I'm to the point pretty much where I'm just doing solely story missions to get through the game. I take it you're not to that point yet, like Act 2 or anything?
No, I'm still in Act 1.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I pretty much have like all the map revealed too. What do you think about it, Alex? Do you like it a lot?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a pretty good game.
I love the fucking combat in that game. It's I'm trying to think if it's harder than Witcher 3 combat. And because Witcher 3 has where you can build your guy very differently, like different aspects. Like you can build light, heavy, like magic or tanky, like those kind of things. And you can mix and match stats and use one of your magic abilities more than other ones and pump that up or whatever. Yeah, I remember Witcher 3 being a pain in the ass though, because you got to fight fucking monsters a lot, which are huge and fuck you up. So it's kind of like where you have those like cutscene fights or fighting. Yeah, pretty much cutscene fights in Ghost of Tsushima, where you got to fight a guy with just your sword and try to heavenly strike the shit out of that guy. It's like that in Witcher 3, but it's like the fight lasts longer and you can die a lot faster or something. I don't know. I would say Witcher 3 has harder combat, but Ghost of Tsushima combat feels a lot better. Less clunky than Witcher 3 combat.
I see.
But I played on a mouse and keyboard for Witcher 3, and I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima on a PS4 controller, so that's a different experience too. Because there's a lot of keys for Witcher 3 to do shit in combat. Just like there is 50 fucking things for Ghost of Tsushima, but it's on a controller. I don't know. Ghost of Tsushima is good. Me and Alex give it whatever number of thumbs up. Speaking of China, Trump wants to ban Tencent and all the games that go with it.
Does he?
Are you guys excited about that?
I know his original like executive order thing he was talking about. People said it wouldn't affect like League of Legends and Fortnite and shit like that.
By Chris again.
That's what I heard.
No, I heard it. I heard it was going to cut all the games.
Because I literally just looked at an article the other day that said no, it does not. That will not affect League of Legends or whatever.
Who said that?
It's on Forbes.
Forbes don't know.
Says it's
Forbes
not going
is
to
the same person that called Kanye a billionaire. They don't know.
Well, this is just what Trump said. You know, after he said that, they lost like how many billions in stock?
So when did he actually say like that he was? Was that after he did the whole order thing?
It was this week, I think.
Oh, okay, because back in like August 7th or whatever, when he did his whole like order against like shit.
That was TikTok shit. This is
they said that it says Trump's 10-cent order is not going to ban League of Legends and Fortnite. It says.
Yeah, and then when the order actually becomes effective, he's like, "Oh, trick or treat! Yes, it does."
So I don't know if he changed his mind, like in what he's saying now, but
we just pranked you. No more riot points.
Yeah, they just said a day ago that the executive orders are broader than just TikTok and WeChat.
So he's trying to change it now. That's funny.
It's what it was always meant to be. It's just people were hoping for the best and not expecting the worst.
They are, like, China is doing it. Tencent is doing it. Like, we know this. Like, if you lose League of Legends because of that, are you going to be upset? Well, you could always get Express. You could not Express, but you can get a VPN and just join that way.
Wouldn't it just affect the money? Or like, what exactly is it going to affect? Like
they wouldn't be able to operate in the US. So
they have a US branch.
Correct. They would no longer have a US branch.
Can't they just sign all their stuff over to the US branch and say, "Oh, we're not doing anything with this anymore"?
If they wanted to give Riot like the rights, yeah, they could. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fucking corporate lawyer or whatever. I don't know exactly how that would work. But if you have to cease operations in the country, you can no longer, like, I'm assuming, make money in the country for sure, or exist. Chris just keeps
you could always just
leaving.
Create a company in America called, say, I don't know, like 11 cents. And like,
God damn it.
You know, like fucking just,
Yeah, Epic Games would be gone. Oh, Activision Blizzard. Oh, it's so good. That would be so good. Like, just Tencent and Vivendi are the cancer of gaming and movies and media in the US pretty much right now. They are the absolute cancer, and they should be gone and need to be gone. Ever since they started putting their hands into video games and shit, it's been worse and worse.
There's a lot of US game companies that are shitters too, so I don't know.
Well, all of them are owned by China.
Maybe.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard was Vivendi. They,
Activision Blizzard is Tencent.
Yeah, exactly.
And Epic Games, Tencent. Steam is the only pure gaming developer, probably.
What's Bethesda? Are they owned by somebody?
Oh, Bethesda's got to be owned by fucking
Game Studio.
Bethesda. Let's see.
Yeah,
parent organization is ZeniMax Media.
ZeniMax, huh? I'm not sure.
Is an American video game holding company based in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So those motherfuckers.
So yeah, so they're pieces of shit too. So ZeniMax needs to go too.
Let's make everyone believe they're Chinese. Let's make everyone believe they're a Chinese company. Then we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, Tencent also has significant stakes in Tesla. So they could fucking monitor you in your Tesla. I want a Tesla, damn it.
God damn it.
But now they can monitor all the information. I think Tesla had an issue too, like recently, where they were sued because they're monitoring everything. Like they're taking pictures of like camera footage and stuff and uploading it and shit like that. Yeah, they were taking I think like when someone like is in your camera like walking, they were taking pictures of people walking or whatever, like in your camera.
Oh, they're trying
probably facial recognition or something.
I was gonna say they're adding things to the database for facial recognition, obviously.
Yeah. So I guess if you're buying a product, just assume you're being tracked at all times because you are.
Yep.
Like every time you're on Pornhub on your phone in the fucking Walmart bathroom, just know that someone's looking at you through that camera.
God dang.
Yeah.
Might as well give them a show then, I guess, in a Walmart bathroom.
If you're doing a Pornhub live like stream from the fucking
oh my god.
I mean,
did that guy just come on the camera? What the fuck?
Is this guy streaming from a Walmart bathroom?
Why can't we just put the cast on Pornhub?
I mean, we could. No one would watch.
Just skip the middleman.
Because then we could have porn stars as interviewees as guests on the podcast. We'd make hundreds of views. And by Chris again. Whenever you hear that bleep, it's fucking Chris gone. I just wanted to bring up that
if they can actually hear that or not, I'm not even sure.
If
they can hear the beeping noise or not.
Oh, the enter and exit noise. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's possible, but I really just wanted to bring up Tencent. I'm kind of excited and scared at the same time that they're like that those games could be gone. But I also like to see Tencent lose. So like personally right now, if I lost those games, like World of Warcraft and League of Legends, you wouldn't lose them. Cause Tencent doesn't own like outright, I don't think, Activision Blizzard or Epic Games, but they're like large stakeholders. But the thing is like if they have to cease operations in the US or whatever, there's probably restrictions on companies that do dealings with them. So maybe that would affect, like, League of Legends just won't just go away. Like, it's not just going to be deleted. Well, it could be. Maybe they just move it to China. But there'd probably be restrictions or something that figures it out. And I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Alex is playing World of Warcraft right now as we speak on the podcast.
Allegedly.
He's playing World of Warcraft Classic. And the executive order that Trump writes in crayon today, could shut it down.
You mean that his staffers, right? And then he just acts like he did something.
So he just signs.
Yep. That's what everyone says. Like that. I've seen articles that are like, this is who actually wrote the thing and stuff like that.
And Steve Miller.
Yeah, Kushner walks up and is like, "I got something for you, Dad."
God damn it! What'd you see? What
Trump's like, "I'm going to treat you like my father treated me, which is shut your fucking mouth and you're a worthless piece of shit."
Oh Jesus!
But here's millions of dollars to invest in that little baby city you call New York.
Then I'm gonna funnel to you over the years as pay, so I don't have to be taxed on like giving it to you when I die.
And even though I hate you, you will still receive my inheritance. Only if you make a Monopoly game with my name on it. And then that game failed. That was Trump Monopoly. That failed.
Oh, yeah.
Just looking at his business ventures, we're not a political podcast. This is a business podcast now. And we're talking about Trump business and how many failed ventures he has, which is 99.9% of them, except for Trump Tower, which is a building.
Yes.
Which is just a couple hotels.
Just like country clubs and hotels.
Yeah. And those country clubs he opened after he became president.
He had golf. He had the golf country clubs before that, a lot of them, but...
I don't believe it. That's what Fox News told you, but that's not true. Just to make him seem like a billionaire.
That's what MSM would want you to believe.
Oh, yeah, geez. Exactly. That's what AOL would like you to believe. So yeah, let's see Tencent go and see what happens. Just to see what would happen.
Did you hear the whole Epic Games shit that was going down or whatever?
What? That we got 4 more years of Trump because they're dismantling the United States Postal Service to get rid of mail-in ballots?
Jesus Christ. You're going all out, Bryce.
Oh, my bad. That's a business, though.
Yeah.
United States Postal Service is a business.
I suppose,
that's backing Biden now because no shit. Okay, but that's a business decision. Because it's having a job versus not having a job. That's a business decision.
Uh-huh.
And they said, well, our vote's going to be towards having a job.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Anybody who sees that and is shocked You're stupid, I guess.
Yeah. There's no guessing to that. They're stupid.
Yeah. So after Epic Games figured that out, Ross, what did they do?
Okay. Well, what they did was they tried to get around Apple and what is it? Who are they else
I
suing?
did hear about that.
Yeah, they were trying to get around Apple and Google's where you gotta for the was it Android and the iOS or whatever. Like for the games, you have to use like their service to like spend money or whatever on the apps or whatever. So like what's it called? Epic like made their way to like have where you could purchase money like without having to go through like Apple or like the Google Play Store and shit like that. And apparently, as soon as that happened, like they got kicked off the stores on both of the things, and apparently they're like suing them over it.
Wow.
Because they're trying to circumvent their business.
Well, yeah, because like apparently they said Apple gets like 30% of any transaction on their like thing. So like they tried to like get around to it like that. Epic did. And a lot of people said they must have been expecting like the other ones to kick them off because they like were suing them like instantly after it happened.
Okay, so but it was on the App Store though. I'm seeing in the PC Gamer article, it was the Fortnite shit was on the App Store, the Apple App Store.
Yep.
But they offered discounts if they bought, I'm assuming, skins or currency directly from Epic Games and not through the App Store.
Yeah, they made like so you could do it like that without having to do it through Apple. Yeah.
Yes, and that is against their store policy, I guess, according to this article. So it removed Fortnite from the App Store entirely.
And I guess Google did the same thing or whatever.
Yeah, and Epic according to this article from PC Gamer, Epic apparently anticipated this, as very shortly after the removal of Fortnite, it announced a new Fortnite Party Royale short, 1980 Fortnite, a play on the famed Apple's famous 1984 ad for the Macintosh. Okay, so and it filed legal papers. And you see, Epic is a stupid, dumb piece of shit, and no one should use it because they're all about, because it seems to me like they're trying to get rid of what they deem monopolies that don't actually exist. They're just things owned by other people that they don't own and better experiences
it's
in
just
some
like,
manner from what they have.
It's just like with Steam where they're like, oh, Steam's taking too much from the developers. They're like, look, we only take like what 10% if you make a deal with us and shit like that. Now they're trying to do that. Now they're trying to do that with these other companies that are like, look, they take a chunk of the money from this. Like they shouldn't do that.
It's and they're suing Apple over monopolistic practices. First off, this is the App Store and the Google Play Store on Android and iOS are essentially storefronts like Epic Games. Epic Games does not have any right whatsoever to be on those storefronts.
I guess the big thing it comes down to, the big thing it comes down to with me is like, I guess if you pretty much, unless you're going to go download an app off a website, you have to go through those two like places to get apps on your phone, which is like a monopoly in itself.
Because
here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Epic Games tried to make deals with OnePlus and LG to have Fortnite like come installed on phones.
Oh, see, that's another way to get around it.
Google forced those two not to be able to do that, or else they would fuck them over.
Bottom right, tap the compass.
Chris, this thing is going off. But that's understandable. See, Epic is trying to do.
Is that mine?
Yeah.
No, I said Google and it started something.
Oh, okay.
Going nuts.
I saw your green ring. I thought it was you.
I'm like, you ain't got no Google. What are you talking about?
I mean, I got Google Home stuff. Like
I should talk directly into the mic. I don't do that. Maybe it will sound better because I always have my head turned. But So Epic tried to do underhanded shit. I wouldn't say underhanded, but they tried to broker a deal with two companies to circumvent the Google Play Store, like you said, completely. And
well, if it comes pre-installed on the phones, it's none of Google's business.
That's true.
Exactly.
Google made it their business by forcing those companies not to do that.
And by forcing those companies, they probably, by force, you mean made a better deal.
No.
What do you mean they forced?
Google can just say, well, you can't use a fucking Android anymore.
It's true. That'd be crazy, but it's probably something they could do. Or like put some sort of restrictions on it.
Who owns Android? I didn't even know Google owned Android. Okay, yeah, Google owns it. So it's Google and Apple.
It's a bunch of monopolies fighting each other for shit.
And Epic is trying. I just fucking hate Epic.
And Epic
if
wants
it was
in on
anybody else.
Epic wants in on it, kind of. They want to become the new monopoly by cannibalizing other monopolies.
Pretty much, that's what it sounds like. And who gives a shit about Epic Games?
And all they have to do is say, "Who cares? Look at these guys; they got billions of dollars. Why should they be taking that money from that's for our content?"
Yeah,
is what they'd probably do. And then people are like, "Yeah, that sounds right."
And people are like, they have a monopoly on this. It's like, no, they don't. They own the App Store. There's two of them, so they own the App Store and the operating system for both. Both of them do. So Apple owns Apple owns the phone manufacturing, the operating system, and the App Store. That means that
we need Windows phones back.
That they are making those, by the way.
Yes.
And Epic. That means Epic has nothing to do with any of that. But Google does not own Google does have a phone, but there are other phones that use the Google operating system.
Yep.
And the App Store that comes with it. And that is also none of Epic's business. They could circumvent it, but like you said, yeah, that's a good point, that those phones, Google can just say that you can't use Android if you do this. Because we want the sales from fucking Fortnite on our App Store.
Pretty much, yeah.
But here's the thing. Nothing's stopping another company. Well, that's not true, because these companies buy the other companies out. So nothing is stopping Epic Games from developing a phone operating system.
I actually think they might be going to make their own like App Store, and it'll be funny.
It's possible, because he claims that they have monopolies, but nothing's stopping him from creating his own operating system for a phone.
Oh, it's probably
and
coming.
Then putting that on a phone that they develop, buy, or offer to someone else. Yeah, it's just all capitalism. These companies, Google, Apple's its own thing, doing its own thing with every aspect of manufacturing and OS and App Store. But Google's different. There's blank Chinese phones everywhere, Korean phones everywhere, and Japanese phones everywhere. And Google's like, well, they're like, we need an operating system. It can't be Apple. So they'll never get Apple. So they only have access to one, which is Android, but they did have Windows for a while. But Microsoft, they wouldn't let anybody touch Windows except for them. They had the phone, they had the operating system, and probably the Windows Store on there or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure they had their own thing. Yeah.
I guess we're not really having an argument here. We're just kind of like
talking about how stupid like the phone thing is, because it's like a one-way street depending on what you choose.
It is. It's absolutely, Android's better, 100%. But Apple's easier, or iOS is easier. I love iPhone 4S. That was my favorite phone. But Android is better. And It's stupid to me. Yeah, you just have 2 phone choices.
Pretty much.
Yep.
You could do flip phones. I wonder what operating system is on flip phones. Like those cheap ass flip phones they have, probably just something simple.
A lot of times, like if it's like really old software, it'll be one that's like the phone company, like whatever phone that made it has on it.
Nokia.
Yeah, it'll be like a Nokia version something. Because it doesn't need anything special, pretty much.
Razor
Yeah,
operating system.
just SMS and dialing phone numbers. That's it.
Pretty
And
much.
operating a camera.
The flip phone with the 1 megapixel camera.
I mean, I like that. They're like, if it was any other company attacking these people, it would be fantastic. But it's just Epic Games, and I don't like any of the players involved in this, so I do not care about what happens. Like,
Pretty much.
I don't want Epic Games to win. I don't want Google to win. I don't want Apple to win. I want them all to lose. Because just like politics in life, it's all about picking a team, and I'm on team poor people. So when the rich squabble over their fucking billions of dollars, I don't shed a tear for any side. But that there's my soapbox for the episode.
I mean, what are they going to argue? Like that they could just say, "Oh, it's hindering our growth by having to like go through them or something."
Yeah.
That's about all they could argue.
Apple's making $1 billion. That could be my $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
The argument is about monopolization, so it could force those companies to.
Yeah, the one thing that they would all lose, in my opinion, is if they made it so that like they have like there can't be just app stores for like each thing or whatever. But I don't know how they would do that.
I don't know either. Like, what's the solution? Like, anybody can have an app store.
Yeah, right?
You can't, because they're never going to say, no, you can't make money from your own app store on your own operating system.
The U.S. government
They own it all.
will run the app store.
And say whatever they want, real.
Thank God. We can have communist fucking apps on our phone.
No, that's how we
App
save the
stores.
post office. The post office will be in charge of the app store.
Dude, just go when you get junk mail. If you do, I don't really even get that much junk mail anymore. And they got the prepaid envelope. Just mail something back in that, like more junk mail, whatever. And then the company will have to pay for it through the post office, and they'll make money. You could also buy stamps to help them out, and use the postal service whenever you can. But
well, it's funny because they make like those forever stamps and shit, like, and they're like, "Oh, this will help us out," and then it's like all these like people just bought like fucking a ton of them at like the cheaper price, and now it's like, oh, okay, those stamps still only cost those people that much. Oh, sucks.
Yeah, now no one will buy stamps again. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much.
Buy it in one lump sum. I want them to exist. Well, okay. Well, here's the thing, though. United States Postal Service gets money from junk mail too.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's shit that they can't, like, they have to deliver that shit because they're paid to, and that's should be criminal. But hey, that's capitalism for you. So in the way, I want the United States Postal Service to not exist because of junk mail. But I mean, it's not like I get that much of it. But I also want to see Trump lose more. So I want them to exist, I guess.
Post office should be able to sue all the junk mail for fucking, because they wouldn't be able to exist without it. So it's like a monopoly.
Sure. Sure it is.
They're basically enslaved by these junk mail.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine if the Postal Service was gone and you had to just solely deal with FedEx or UPS?
Oh yeah, dude, $30 to send something out into the sticks.
Can you imagine if there would be no end to my wrath if a fucking FedEx truck came to my house and put junk mail in my mailbox? There's no stopping me.
Guns blazing, dude.
Yeah.
You think you got like a package that day, and then you come in, it's just some junk mail?
junk mail. How did I get junk mail when that doesn't exist anymore? And FedEx gets paid to deliver it? Fuck that. It's not a government entity. That will not fly.
Yep.
Like, fuck that. But they'll probably be federally protected because they're the only thing we got. Or some... Fuck them. Just... Oh, man. That whole...
Like, no, we had something before, but you guys fucked it up, I'd say to him.
That whole situation... Because the United States Postal Service sucks ass anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's an extremely complicated system. It would be a lot better if they didn't deal with just junk mail all the fucking time. Shit would be faster if they didn't have to sort through shit. And like pad your mail with like inserts like that they have to put in every single order for every day. Like, but that's how they get their money because the government doesn't give them enough.
Yep.
Oh, it's crazy to think about that. Like, about what will happen there. But we're not a politics podcast. That was just business discussion. Like the United States Postal Service as a business, how are they going to survive?
Yep. Maybe they should get bought out by China.
Oh my God.
Just another business Trump is going to run into the ground. Is that what you're saying?
And then China will scoop them up and be like, we have the Chinese Postal Service in the U.S. and they'll censor your mail.
God, that would suck. They're like, yeah, you can, we'll fund you. You just have to put these cameras on every mailbox that facially scans people.
Yep.
There was a Chinese game that I saw somewhere. I can't remember where, but it's specific to play to sign up for it. You had to take a clear picture of your face.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's 100% for just facial recognition for China.
Right.
And it's like, no shit. And it's like, so fucking, crazy. But that's enough business talk. Did you guys know the game Control? Have you guys ever heard about that with the chick with the mind stuff that picks up rocks and guns and shit and shoots them?
I think I've heard about it.
That's apparently in the Alan Wake world.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And it's
just
directly
recently.
tied. Yeah, it's tied to it apparently. And that they're apparently coming out with a expansion.
Yep.
And they said it will be like a direct connection between Alan Wake. And
that's cool.
Yeah, for those of you who don't remember, Alan Wake is a 360 game. Like, what was it? One of the launch games or something?
I think it was one of them that you could get with a console. I know, like a bundled one. I don't know if it was exactly at launch or not. I can't remember.
Xbox 360 launch games. It was super early in the life of the Xbox 360.
Yep.
God, when was the Xbox 360? That was like in 2005-ish?
Yeah, when it first came out.
May have been
2006, 2005.
I remember I was in year 1 or 2 of college when it came out.
Okay. Yeah, I remember they had Quake 4 as a launch title. So Alan Wake was not a launch title, apparently, I think.
Man, you can still get that Xbox 360 on Walmart, man, that comes with Alan Wake.
Are you serious?
I think so. I think I just clicked on it here. It's probably from like a third party, though.
Amazon, the Xbox 360 250 gigabyte holiday bundle. Is that what you're looking at?
Well, I was on Walmart looking at it, but I don't know. It doesn't really tell you much about it. Oh, there is an L. Yeah, I see the one on Amazon that you're saying. Yeah,
that's like $600 used.
Oh, that's like an actual like game bundle with a bunch of stuff. That's cool. Maybe that's what I was looking at on the other thing. Never mind.
Yeah, you need to find that. Link that Walmart one.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's the thing like you were showing.
Oh, okay.
I think I was messed up.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't buy that shit anymore. You'd have to buy it on like eBay. That would probably be worth a lot. But anyway, Alan Wake was a fantastic underrated game, I think.
Oh, I found it. They still got it's on the Sears website still, but it's unavailable. But they got the listing for it.
Oh my god!
Came with
Poor
that,
Sears.
and what the heck game is that? Is that Need for Speed that came with it? Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of the Need for Speed games, but I'm not sure.
Poor Sears, man. Pour one out for Sears. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with that because Alan Wake was underrated. It was like a heavy. Oh my god! What would you say Alan Wake was? It was like a narrative.
It was one of them atmospheric games, kind of.
Yeah, it was like a narrative detective horror kind of game, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
It's hard to describe. You had a flashlight and fought shadow shit there.
And what, like, at least in the first one, it's like if you figure out, like, I'm not gonna go too far into it, but you figure out that like what's all happening to him is something that he apparently wrote already, but didn't remember that he wrote, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, so you spoiled it for everybody.
Well, you instantly figure that out when you start picking up the pages.
It's a 15-year-old game.
When you start picking up the pages in the thing, I mean, pretty obvious.
True. Yeah, it's great. Alan Wake, if you haven't played it and didn't get it spoiled, check it out. That's not really a spoiler. It's not really a big spoiler. It says because the ending's weird.
It says Remedy has more games in the Control and Alan Wake universe planned. Interesting.
That'd be cool. Alan Wake might come back. So here's the big news of the episode. Let's try to get through this quick because we've been going late because Chris keeps getting disconnected. And we were waiting to see if that was fixed. This is it. This is the big shit. Halo Infinite and other games. More important games, Stalker 2 and Vampire the Masquerade 2, are now delayed until 2021.
Damn coronavirus.
No, that's not it.
Well, I know for Halo, they said it was literally because of like pretty much that trailer where everyone ripped it apart.
The game wasn't complete.
Yeah, so they said, well, if you want it to be good, we gotta like delay it pretty much.
Well, it wasn't done.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about that, and I was like, it didn't look good. That's not like a complete version of the game that they showed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, wow, you're right, and it won't be done within the amount of time required. So, Xbox lost Stalker 2 and Halo Infinite as launch games. And, well, Vampire the Masquerade is on both, but that's also was considered a launch game. And there's only, as of right now, there is only Medium, Scorn, and Tetris are the only currently confirmed exclusive games developed specifically for the Xbox Series X. So there are other launch games, but those are like, ports and shit, or on both consoles, or not developed specifically for the Series X. So pretty much there's those three launch games that are made for the Xbox Series X that are currently confirmed to launch with it, which is probably in November, because
that's what everyone's been saying. Yeah.
Always releases in November before Christmas, I think. And they're done. Dude, they're done. Like
that definitely hurts a lot, I'll say that.
I was only interested in Stalker 2, but now that's delayed.
But now you can actually wait till they release like the systems without all the glitches and shit.
Yeah, the second iteration.
Yeah.
No, that they don't do that for like a year in, don't they? There's the initial launch of the system that has so many that they pump out, and then they like make more, that kind of thing. Stalker 2 and Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, in Halo Infinite's case, unfortunately, are system sellers. So those will only be delayed until first quarter 2021. There's no way they would go past that.
Yeah, that would hurt them too much, definitely.
Because because if they go to November for launch, it will pad Q4 and Q1 for Microsoft for Xbox. So they need to sell systems and games within the fourth quarter and first quarter. I don't know. I don't actually know when their fourth quarter ends, but I'm assuming Christmas is still in their fourth quarter. Because a company that I know of, their fiscal year ends in September. So maybe their Q1 is Christmas and
I don't know. I'm not
so
sure.
yeah. So for shareholders and stuff, they a company has to perform well, of course, for their shareholders and whatnot. So they have goals that they have to meet during the year, and they're is specifically divided up the year depending on how they do it specifically into quarters, and that tells them pretty much how they're performing, what they need to change, like what a quarter of the year will get the most sales, what they need to do to get like so Q1 is I'm assuming, I'm not a fucking expert, I'm assuming Q1 is the dead zone due to Christmas being done. People spent everything for Christmas, so Q1 is just like Save City, and people aren't really dishing out that money.
That's
so
possible.
they need to sweeten the pot for Q1 for people to get in there. So
That's possible.
Halo being delayed and Stalker 2 being delayed till 2021 first quarter, that might help them for their first quarter sales. But
I read
like
something
anything in life,
I read something that could be hurtful for PlayStation if it was actually true.
nothing's hurtful for PlayStation.
It was like from someone who was like I don't know if he was a leaker or something, but they said he had like I think leaked other stuff that ended up being confirmed. And he said something about like that, like multi-platform games, like ones that would be on PlayStation, Xbox, and other systems, that they weren't performing overly well on the PlayStation for some reason, like probably because they weren't designed specifically for it. So it was good that like multi-platform games might have like lower like gameplay settings on PlayStation than on like Xbox.
But that's the same shit, different day.
Well, it's saying there was one. He said he wouldn't be surprised if the new Resident Evil game was only able to run at 1080 on PlayStation.
See, that's bullshit.
That's what he said. And if
that's bullshit.
if that's anywhere near true, they're in trouble.
It would first off, that's bullshit. It would run at 4K 60 FPS because Xbox is trying to boast 4K 120 FPS.
Well,
there's no way the PS5 would be gimped that much.
Well, they said that
1080p.
They said that whole moderating processor thing where it like doesn't run at like a set speed or whatever, that was like making like games harder to make or something like that, like multi-platform ones, like so that they would run good on the PlayStation or something like that. I don't know.
But that sounds like a firmware thing, right?
Well, no, the whole I think the whole system's designed around that whole aspect, and that'd be kind of bad if that was true. But
yeah,
I guess,
but they can fix that with firmware, like to
maybe
overclock the CPU for those games or whatever they got to do with the CPU.
But then
right?
what if any other games that are designed to run with the old way would be like have to be changed probably for all you know?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Like I said, like
I
mean, the guy could be full of shit, obviously, but if they do have some sort of issues, that could hurt them.
That would kill them 100%. But that's why I don't believe this is true at all.
They'd be like, "Oh, all our exclusives run at like amazing settings."
Because the thing is, this like a developer would have to be talking about that, and they would have already have developed games for it and would have already come forward with that information, I think. Because we're getting down to the 0 hour where developers leak shit and talk shit on other consoles and stuff. Because like a leaker, like developer said, "Oh yeah, Xbox is better." I'm pretty sure a developer would come forward with this for the PS5. That's my guess, because that's a really big thing. Like that would definitely, I would think, delay the PS5 until 2021 until they could figure that out. And it would be too late in the game to change the chip, or they would let it slide and make new iterations with a different chip. But I don't think that's a nightmare.
Like
that
I
would
said,
kill Sony.
If there would be any truth to that, that'd be pretty ridiculous. But I don't know.
They said what was it? The PS3 or the PlayStation 4 almost killed Sony.
I think so.
I think it was the PS3, but the PS4, like, clearly they're ahead of the game currently right now in the current gen. So I'm not sure if
Here it is. A day
would
ago,
knock them out.
A day ago, it says PS5 third-party devs reportedly finding hardware troublesome. Fake 4K may be common. What's fake 4K?
Ooh, I don't know. That sounds.
This was a day ago on some tech site. I don't know.
Okay, so devs are coming out about it, allegedly. That's interesting to see what they say, because
some gamers may be disappointed by some major third-party titles, is what some Jeff Grubb hinted at. I don't know who that is, but
they probably render it at like 1080p and then upscale it to 4K, and it doesn't look quite as good or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, do you remember? Well, it's the same thing with the PS3, and it didn't hurt the PS3 late in the game.
It says 4 days ago, Resident Evil 8 is rumored to be a disaster on the PS5. Who should we blame? It says.
I would like information on that, definitely.
Yeah, see, that's what I want to know too.
Because I want to know who the fuck. What did they develop Resident Evil 5 for?
Someone who's a reliable industry.
Resident Evil 8, you said?
Says someone who's a reliable industry source says it can't run properly at 1080 even, or something, because of problems that are happening right now, apparently.
See, what system did they design that for then?
Well, it was a multi-platform, so it was designed for multiple systems.
Well, if it doesn't work on one, they clearly made it for another one.
Well, apparently, like the stuff, like what I'm saying is, apparently the devs for like third-party games aren't used to, like, don't know how to use their system properly, apparently.
For the PS5?
Yeah.
So okay, so
or how to convert it over, like, to work for PS5, I guess.
That's the same issue they had with the PS3. It was difficult to work on.
Well, they could be hurting themselves again then.
Third party games looked worse than the 360 on it. Remember, because the PS3 games had that fog effect or whatever that the Xbox 360 didn't really have, and a PS3 ended up being a huge seller, but Sony almost lost because of that. So history says that will not affect Sony in the long run.
It's possible. It depends on depends on how similar the issue is to like the old issue.
That's the exact same issue they had on the PS3.
Well, I don't know if I explained what the issue actually is or not. I'm just saying what I thought it was.
Well, yeah, you're talking hardware specific. I'm talking about the PS3 was notoriously difficult to develop for.
I just want to know what fake 4K means.
That's because their processor was so different from anything anyone else was using. Now it's still an x86 processor.
Yeah, it's still the same kind of processor.
Yeah, that sounds like what you're saying. It's going to be the exact same issue.
Well,
as what happened on the PS3.
He said PS3.
The same as the Xbox's hardware. It's just a little less GPU shading units. So.
Fake 4K is upscaled, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. So but
if you code it for, say, something that runs on the Xbox and you port it to the PlayStation, who's using a different sort of language to talk to their processor because they have a different OS they're running, because, why not? It could be less. It could be less efficient if the code path is way longer when you port it over.
Yeah, this is hardware shit that I know nothing about. But this
translate the game to work with the operating system of the PS5, and if they're using their own janky operating system that's not Windows based like the rest of the ecosystem, it could cause issues.
it sounds like they need DirectX.
All the hardware is capable of running Vulkan, so I don't know why they don't just use Vulkan for everything. It's actually more efficient to use Vulkan.
That's what makes me think that they developed for the PC.
Yep.
And then ported to Xbox, which is easy.
To be fair, they probably do that for a lot of the multi-platform games.
Yeah, if it's coming on PC, because if it's only coming on console and it's third party, I'm assuming they developed for Xbox Series X.
Xbox literally will have no difference at this point now, so you just develop for PC/Xbox and port it to PlayStation.
I mean, pretty much. That's pretty much kind of what a lot of them are probably doing. That's why
these consoles are going to look better than my fucking PC, and it pisses me off. I want to be on a PC.
At least for a year.
Yeah, because I need prices. I want to avoid buying these systems hoping that the PC market tries to match it to get to 4K cheaper, but I doubt that's going to happen in the first year. But to put this into perspective, these are the top selling consoles of all time. From first going down is PlayStation 2, Nintendo DS family, which includes all the DS, the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 1, Wii, and then PlayStation 3.
Yep.
PlayStation 3 was considered a failure, and it was a garbage shit console that was hard to develop for. But with the fanboys and everything, it still sold 87.4 million units, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And Xbox 360 was behind it with 86.
Yeah, it passed it after I think it actually passed the 360 after the new shit had came out because people were still buying the old gen.
Yeah, because the thing that helped the PlayStation 3 was, I think, if I remember correctly, it was backwards compatible.
Probably
with PlayStation games.
That is possible.
So it was
all those sales were the Navy trying to build a fucking supercomputer out of old PS.
Oh, that's true. They did do that.
That's funny too. But the Xbox 360 released in 2005 and the PlayStation 3 in 2006. So the Xbox 360 had,
oh yeah, they had
however much more time than the PlayStation 3. After that is the Game Boy Advance family. Then it's the PlayStation Portable. And then it goes 3DS family, the NES, and then Nintendo Switch. And then Xbox One after that. Nintendo Switch, with all of this explosion, I don't know if this is updated yet.
Probably not.
It still hasn't reached the top 10 selling consoles of all time. That is crazy. But it's only been out for 3 years.
Yeah.
But there's some cheating in here. Like the Nintendo DS family includes all the DS that's not the 3DS. So DS, DSi, DS Lite, 2DS.
Yeah.
That's all included in there. So that's cheating. We know that is fact. Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Where's Game Boy Pocket? I'm assuming that includes that.
Maybe.
That probably includes that because Game Boy Pocket, then Game Boy Color. So that's cheating too. So technically those handhelds shouldn't be on there. Game Boy Advance though.
That means the pro versions of consoles should be separate too, right?
No, fuck you.
What if they what if they have a slimmer design, then they're not the same?
They're the same hardware though.
But a Game Boy Pocket's the same hardware, it's just slimmer.
As the Game Boy, yeah. But Game Boy Color is not.
But Game Boy Color Pocket is the same as a Game Boy Color. A Game Boy Pocket Color is the same as a Game Boy Color.
There's no Game Boy Pocket Color.
Thought there was.
No, it's a Game Boy Pocket, then Game Boy Color.
They never made a Pocket Color? I'm almost positive we had one.
No, the Game Boy Color was like this. It
already was a Pocket, wasn't it? It was like smaller.
It's smaller, but it had that fat ass on it.
Yep.
Okay, so it already was smaller. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, the Game Boy was a huge brick.
I guess that's what I meant. I just said it was a Pocket because it was smaller already. I think.
Yeah, that atomic purple Boy Color, dude. That thing was.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, what do you guys got for handhelds that you want to sell? I know you got that plate loud see-through one. I do want one of those. If you guys want to sell that, I'll buy it.
I still got my see-through one, but you'd have to probably do some cleaning.
Yeah, that's what I do with them. Yeah, I'll talk about that another time.
Yep. We have like an old gray one somewhere, but it would need it's missing the battery cover and it needs a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, I know how to do all that shit and stuff. I can clean them for you too and recap them if you want.
Yeah.
So they are all nice. Anyway, what else do we got? So that's the Stalker 2, Vampire the Masquerade, and there's still unknown games that haven't been confirmed to release yet. So there may be more delays, but PlayStation 5 is pretty zipped up regarding it all.
Well, there are also some games that aren't technically exclusives that are also going to be launch games, I think, where they're already if they're going to be on, I think they're already on PC, but they're going to be launching on the system or something. I don't know. I've seen some stuff like that. I know that's confusing, but
yeah. Well, I hope it works out for them, because if software holds them back, because this is there's a huge explosion of video game purchases and console shortages and purchases right now. The Switch buyouts, the PlayStation 4 buyouts, even the retro shit is being bought out. That shit doubled in price.
Yeah.
If you think about it, let's see. Just to put this in perspective, Nintendo 64, you could buy for $50 last year. It's $100 now.
Yep.
GameCube, you could buy for dirt cheap, $40. Now that's $80. It's all doubled. Sega Game Gears, you could buy for $15. Now they're $60. Isn't that nuts?
Oh yeah.
I just sold 3. No, I don't want to get into that. I'll tell you after.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's it. That's all we wanted to talk about. Does anybody got anything else they want to say before we shut it down?
I'm good.
Alex?
No.
All right, we'll catch you next time.
See you.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the episode. You could catch us currently at the Prime 4 podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Podcast Addict for audio only. If you want to see how fugly we look in real life, you can also catch us on YouTube under the Prime 4 podcast.